It all started when the calls stopped. Rachel hadn't spoken to her mother in 3 weeks. That alone wasn't unusual. Her mother wasn't a fan of phones, but the missed doctor's appointments, the uncashed pension checks, and the unanswered texts started piling up. So Rachel drove out to the house, the same one she grew up in, 5 hours from anywhere, sunk into the Iowa plains, just barely upright against the wind and time. It had been in the family for 3 generations. It was never supposed to feel this empty. Her mom's car was in the drive. Mail was stacked at the door. The porch light blinked. On, off, like it had for years. Some short in the wiring they never fixed. Rachel let herself in. The inside smelled like sour meat and dust. No rot, no mold. Just something that shouldn't have lingered. The kind of wrong you can't name, only feel. She found her mom in the kitchen, alive, staring at the wall. The stove was on. The flame turned low under an empty pot. Her mother didn't speak when Rachel said her name. Didn't even blink. Just stared, face slack, like someone watching something in the wall that wasn't there, or was. Rachel turned the stove off, took her mom to the couch, called her brother Josh. "She's just sitting," she said. "Won't talk, won't eat." Josh, ever the rational one, said it was probably a stroke or dementia. "Call a doctor," he said. "Don't freak out." Rachel hung up and didn't call a doctor. She didn't know why. Something stopped her. That night, she heard footsteps overhead. The attic, slow, deliberate creaks that moved from one end of the house to the other. She thought maybe it was mice, or the wind shifting the beams. But then there was whispering, not words, just the rhythm of them. Breathing that sounded like language. She didn't sleep. By the second day, her mother spoke. One sentence, over and over. "It doesn't want me anymore." Rachel tried to get her to elaborate, but she would just shake her head slowly and return to silence. The whispering came again that night, louder. Rachel stood in the hallway under the attic hatch, listening, and the whispering stopped, instantly, like it had heard her. The next morning, she found the kitchen knives laid out on the floor in a perfect circle, not like they'd fallen, placed, arranged, like a ritual. She confronted her mother, but the woman hadn't moved from the couch. Her eyes had gone red from not blinking enough. Her lips twitched when Rachel yelled, but only slightly. Josh arrived on the 4th day. He was skeptical, said Rachel needed rest, said their mum should be in a hospital. Rachel didn't argue. She just told him to sleep in the attic. He laughed, but he did, and Rachel stayed up. At 2:41 a.m. she heard it, a dull thud, like a boot hitting the floor, then a dragging sound, then silence, then Josh screaming. She found him in the hallway, clutching his hand, 3 deep gashes in his palm. "I didn't do this," he kept saying. "I was dreaming. I thought I was holding something." He wouldn't say what. Rachel cleaned the wound. Josh went home the next day. Rachel stayed. On the 6th day, she opened the attic. Inside, dust, boxes, insulation. Nothing unusual, except for the smell, burnt hair and copper, and in the corner, a bundle of old clothes, folded neatly. On top of them, a baby monitor, dead, unplugged. But when she picked it up, it clicked, and something laughed, faint, wet, close. She dropped it and ran. Her mother died that night. No violence, no struggle, just stopped. She was sitting up, eyes wide, hands folded, lips torn open, like she'd been smiling too hard. Rachel didn't cry. She called the coroner. They asked the usual questions, gave the usual condolences. Then they said something strange. "Wait, she passed when?" "Last night." "No, she's been dead at least 4 days." We can tell from lividity. You sure she wasn't moved? Rachel said no, but she wasn't sure of anything anymore. She stayed in the house for 2 more days. She should have left, but she didn't. The grief had weight. It held her down. The whispering got worse every night. Voices in the vents, taps on the walls. She stopped turning on lights. It felt worse when she could see things. One night, she saw her mother in the corner of the kitchen, standing. But when Rachel turned on the light, there was nothing. She stopped sleeping after that. Then the messages started, scrawled into the dust on the windows, into the condensation of the bathroom mirror. It's not her. It's in the walls. You're next. She thought she was going insane, until the neighbor stopped by. An old man named Howard from a few miles up the road. He asked if her mother was still alive. Rachel said no. He nodded, like he expected that. Then he said something that froze her. She ever tell you about the man in the eaves? Rachel stared. What? He's always been there, even when your granddad owned this place. People don't live here long, you notice that? They don't leave either. Rachel asked him to explain, but Howard just shook his head. You'll see him soon enough. She saw him the next night. Not fully, but enough. She was in the attic. Don't ask why. She just had to be. Something was pulling her there. Something in the walls. She sat down, back against the beams, and listened. And then she saw them. Fingers, thin, grey, spider-like, sliding out from the slats. And then a face. No eyes, no mouth, just skin pulled too tight like wax over bone. It didn't move, just watched. And then it whispered. You look like her, Rachel screamed. Ran, didn't stop. But when she got to the car, the keys were gone. Back inside, she found them on the kitchen table, wrapped in her mother's nightgown, still warm. She left the next morning. Didn't pack, didn't look back. She sold the house to a developer who planned to tear it down, but they never did. The crew who came to inspect it, all 5 of them, quit the same day. One of them went missing a week later. All they found was a voicemail. 17 minutes of silence. And then, at the end, one whisper. Just one.
Come upstairs.
Rachel never went back. She moved to Oregon. Changed her number. Doesn't talk about what happened. But sometimes, when the nights are long and the wind rattles the eaves just right, she swears she can still hear her mother's voice, whispering from inside the walls.
I'm waiting for you.